and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I haven't made any baking videos lately, so today I'm bringing you my first ever company event cake by CITIBANK. I was very excited when I first received this order from my client. They actually requested a decoration, the cake decoration inspired by Bob's Bakery. It's a Singapore bakery shop and they wanted to have something similar to that design, so I tried my best to replicate as close as I can. Now, according to my client, they requested for a strawberry cake, so of course we are gonna bring them the strawberry cake that they wanted for. So what are we waiting for? Let's get on with the baking right now. So the first preparation to do is of course the sponge cake, and I have already prepared my sponge cake earlier, so you guys can check out from my reels where I prepared my chiffon cake. It's included together the recipes as well as the how to make the chiffon cake, so I'll tag it inside my description box. You guys can check it right there. Now the second preparation is the preparation of the chantilly vanille mascarpone. So it's a whipping cream flavored with vanilla bean and the mascarpone cheese, but for that we are going to need these ingredients. So what we are going to do here is just to pour in all of the ingredients inside our mixer. And then beat it until you achieve the texture with a stiff peak when you lift the whisk out of the cream. And then once it's ready, we're just going to transfer this whipping cream into a piping bag. And it's ready. The next thing we are going to prepare is the preparation of our raspberry buttercream. So this raspberry buttercream is for us to coat around our cake, and for that we are going to need these ingredients. For this buttercream, we are just going to add all of the ingredients except the milk into a standing mixer. For the powder ingredients, I recommend for you guys to sieve them together, so the raspberry and the icing sugar together, just so we do not have any powdered lumps inside our buttercream and we can achieve the smooth texture of our buttercream. I'm not sure why I did not do that, but in your case guys, just sieve both of the powder ingredients together. So once all of these are mixed up together, we are going to add the milk, but we do not need to use all of the milk all together. Add it little by little, just so until all of the ingredients are well incorporated together. Once this is all mixed up together, it will be ready for us to coat around our cake. So right here, I have two 8 inches chiffon cake and one 5-inch chiffon cake. What we're gonna do here is just to divide our 8-inch into 2. Whereas for the 5-inch, we are going to divide it into 3 equal sections. So once our cake is ready, we are just going to place it on top of a rotating table. I think this is far more easier to work with. And here I am using a rodois or a mousse plastic, just to help me to get a straight edges for my cake, so I don't have to worry if it's tilting to the side or the other. This really helps me to achieve a very steady and straight cake. If you do not have this, not to worry as well. You can just go the traditional way and then making sure that the size, all of the cakes are very aligned, so you do not have a leaning cake. So for the filling, we are going to use our prepared chantilly vanille mascarpone. Pipe it on top of our first cake. Use a spoon or whatever you have at home that can help you to flatten the top side of our whipping cream, and then place some chopped strawberries on top of it. And add a little bit more of the chantilly. And place the next layer of the cake, and do the same for the next layer. Once the cakes are ready, I usually use a cling wrap to cover the top of the cake, so when I put it in the fridge, it doesn't get dry. Once this is covered, we are going to keep it inside the freezer so it can help to make it more firmer before we cover it using our buttercream. And about half an hour later, we are going to take it out of the freezer, remove the cling wrap along with the mousse plastic, hard plastic. And we are just going to do a crumb coat around the cake first. And once our cake is fully crumb coated, we are going to keep it back inside the freezer for another 15 minutes. And after the 15 minutes is up, we are just gonna fully cover our cake with our buttercream, covering all of the sides. For the buttercream, if you find it's difficult to use the spatula to straighten the edges, use a bench scraper. This helps me a lot to make sure that the cake is straight and no excessive buttercream around it. It looks much more neat, and it will actually make it look much cleaner and neater when we cover it with our fondant. And once it's completed, of course, we're going to keep it back inside the fridge again, just so that the buttercream is firm enough before we are going to place our fondant. Now, while our cake is resting inside the fridge, we are going to prepare and roll our fondant first. So this is the brand that I'm using. I love working with this fondant as it has a vanilla flavor. It smells good, it tastes good as well, and it's easy to roll. So for the fondant, we're just going to roll it, not too thin, not too thick, so that it doesn't rip and it's not too heavy to be placed on top of our cake. And I am just going to use this fondant roller, roll it around, so it will be easier for me to place it on top of the cake. So once our fondant is ready, we're just going to take our first cake. So here is my 8-inch cake first. I'm gonna cover the 8-inch cake on the top first. And then trim the edges. Roll it, wrap it around the cake. So the bottom part of my fondant, I trim it first before I roll it, so it's going to be straight and easier for me to just roll it around my cake. Oops, make sure that you do not have the same mistake as I did. It's kind of challenging because you are trying to cover, making sure that the bottom part is covering enough, but then the top is also falling on top of it. You can also trim the top just so that it's not too much for you to trim afterwards. What I like to do is just to let my fondant over cover the other side, so that when I trim it, everything is covered, and the sides where I want it to be straight will be straight for me to quickly cut it straight across the excess fondant. Trim whatever necessary, so when your cake started to get soft, it's better to quickly keep it back inside the fridge before working on it again, because we do not want to have a loopy or melted cake before it arrives in our client's hand. So here I have made my own fondant paste. So fondant paste is from the fondant itself, added with a little bit of water, but if you have like vodka, it works so much better, because vodka, it evaporates and it's not gonna stay wet on the fondant. In my case, I do not have any vodka in hand, so I use slightly, just a little bit of water to make the fondant into paste, and I'm using it to cover all of the seams around the sides, especially the part where the top and the side meets, as well as where I trim the back of my fondant. This trick can also be used if by chance you crack or rip your fondant. This can help to cover the rip areas as well as some areas that is a little bit imperfect from the other side compared to the other side. And we're just going to keep it back inside the fridge once this is completely covered. And finally, we have reached our most favorite part, which is the decoration. My husband is right here to help me to transfer the cake onto the cake board. Before I'm putting the dowel in, I'm just using my 5-inch cake pan to just trim the circle around it so that I know where I'm going to put the dowels. And then now just placing the dowels in, take it out and cut it into the length that I needed. I'm adding 4 dowels. And then afterwards, just transfer the 5-inch cake on top of the 8-inch cake. So for this decoration, according to my client's request, there is a drip around the cake edges. So here I have prepared my dripping liquid. It's a mixture of icing sugar with some water. So I'm using my spoon here. You can also place it inside tube or a bottle with a small nozzle on top. It's going to be much more easier actually, but I do not have it, so I'm using my spoon to help to drip around the cake. And doing the same for the top 5-inch cake as well. From the cake decoration that my clients requested, there are a little bit of gold flakes around the cake. So I'm just adding some gold flakes on the front of the cake. And I'm just going to continue decorating the cake right over here. So one of the decorations is made by me, which is the macaron. So if you guys would like to watch how I made this macaron, do let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm surely going to make it for you guys. And the rest of the decorations are just some assorted chocolate, cookies, treats, you name it. And voila, the cake is done, and I'm very happy how it turned out, although because my fondant gets sweaty after I took it out of the fridge, so the icing sugar dripping gets wet and melted slightly on the side, but it doesn't ruin the cake so much. I do get a little bit disappointed. So my tips here, once the cake is out, you can spray using like a spray baking bottle. I'll show you guys right over here. It's like a pump, a spray pump, where you can place some cornstarch inside and then spray it around the fondant. You can use this trick also for buttercream or whipping cream, just to make sure that it doesn't sweat so much after you take it out of the fridge, as the cornstarch absorb the moisture around the cake. So that is how it helps to make sure that the cake doesn't sweat too much. But overall, yeah, my clients really love it, and I'm very happy with their reaction. They actually said that the cake was so good that there was no cake left behind.
No cake left behind.
to that, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. The next episode, we will be making the baking challenge, and it's going to be homebaking. It's another French traditional dessert. It's made out of brioche and it's filled with some creams. Oh, you guys are gonna love it. I'm so excited and impatient to make this recipe because this is my first time making a brioche. I'm quite nervous, but I'm sure it will turn out very well. So if you guys would like to know how it turned out, make sure you follow me and watch the next episode. And I'll see you guys again next time. And if you're still watching, on to the next episode.